Okay.
All right. Oftentimes we hear the expression science is all around us. What does this statement mean to you? Additionally, what are 3 ways teachers can encourage their students' science exploration? I think that science is all around us term, it kind of is like, you know, there's life all around us, like everything you see, everything you feel in the environment, it's like science. I kind of related to that. Like everything around you, you can learn from, you can, you know, explore, things like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but.
No,
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of like what you said. Also, there's chemistry around us. There's, chemistry, there's physics, biology, everything like it's all different stuff around us at all times. So physics. So
Kate
yeah.
is on the line.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
I'm interrupting. I'm sorry for just barging in. I'm in my car driving home. I'm sorry for barging in here. I know you guys are recording, so I'm sorry. So Crystal asked me if I could join. Did you guys have questions about the assignment for this week?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we did.
Should I come back when you guys are finished recording?
No, you're fine. Oh man, that's funny.
I can't cut my camera on because I'm driving. But anyway, the question. Okay, so the assignment this week is the professional disposition evaluation. So it's like a form with 19 indicators. So what you're going to do is rate yourselves on those indicators. And like, I think 1, 2, or 3. 3 is the highest, 1 is the lowest. And then once you rated yourself on all 19 indicators, you're going to choose 3 of those indicators to like maybe write a paragraph about. Like, say for instance, if you choose number 5, I think number 5 is let me see here. Hold on. I got something in the car here. I think number 5 is like, I think, what does this say for number 5 here? Okay, number 5 says, the student acts in a mature and professional manner in interactions with children. So the student being yourself, and when you're in your own classroom. So for that one, if you choose to elaborate on that one, you'll say, you may write a paragraph on ways that you act in a mature and professional manner when you're with your children. Like, for instance, you may say, I talk to my children using their names. I make sure that I am always speaking in soothing tones when I talk to children. It's like something that really shows how you are doing that particular indicator.
Hey,
So
Professor, I have a question. In the actual assignment, it says that the ratings must be submitted with this link, but the link is from 2015.
No, you don't have to. That link is to live text. We no longer use live text now. Everything that you do now is just in D2L. So that's probably what's confusing everybody. So just ignore that link and just complete the form and send the form into D2L under the assignment 9, week 9 assignment. Just put it in there. Don't worry about the link.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
That's what confused everybody because everybody's asking the same question. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, you're good. And
Okay,
then
good.
it has to be like, I heard, I think 1 to 2 pages.
No. Okay, so I think I put that in there, but no. Like if you choose, I want you to choose 3 to elaborate on. So
Right.
maybe a paragraph on each one you choose to elaborate. So that may come to 1 page, or if it comes to 1 page, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But just make sure you write at least a paragraph about each one you choose to elaborate on.
Okay, cool. And then I know for week 10, we have something due that week too. It's the practicum final assignment. I haven't looked at it yet. Is it? Oh, wait, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's not. That assignment really isn't too hard. All you're going to do with that assignment is you're going to watch. There are some videos attached to that assignment. And when you click the YouTube link, you'll see there are like maybe 14 videos. Just choose a few of the videos to watch. And what you're going to do from those videos, you're going to answer the questions that I have within that week 10 assignment. There are like 4 or 5 questions you'll answer about the videos you chose to watch. But it's going to be more about culturally responsive practices. And there's a little blurb in that assignment that tells what that is. So you'll read that. You read about culturally responsive practices, and then you'll watch the videos, then you'll answer the questions. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. So, and if you have any questions about it, you can always reach out to me as you're doing it, but it shouldn't take that long to do. Just watch a few of the videos, and from there you will answer questions.
Okay, so it's not like a paper or anything, it's just questions.
No, it's not. Yes, just questions. I mean, it's gonna be a paper when you finish writing it, but it's not a really, really long. As long as you give me maybe a page or two, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I know you guys are swamped in all the classes you're taking, so don't worry about trying to meet a certain page limit deadline, a page limit. Just as much as you can write, that's fine. Trust me, I'm not gonna be that big of a stickler. I know you guys are under a lot of pressure, so don't worry about that. Just make sure you at least complete the assignment with as much as you can put it in there. Don't worry about a page number. Just do as much as you can.
Okay, great. And then
Professor Tate, I have a question.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Ask questions. No, you're fine. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
New Year's, it's not pertaining right now to the assignment. Just ask away.
Oh, I
go
was going to
ahead.
say, is there something else that's due in week 10? I know I wrote it down before. I didn't know if that was something. It's like, I think you talked about it maybe like week 1. It was like complete the appraisal and module 10.
Oh,
Is that-
we're not gonna.
Yep.
Okay, so we do that. We took that out from the fall. You'll do that. You'll do that in the winter and spring terms, but the fall you won't have to do that. So no, that won't be.
Okay.
That's what took
I think
this final assignment took the place of the competency appraisal this term. So next term and the following term, you'll do that instead of this final assignment.
Oh, okay. I think I wrote that down like week 1, just so I wouldn't like forget. So that's why I just wanted to make sure. I was like, wait, what is that?
Did you
Okay.
get confirmation that we don't need to do our ed TPA yet, Mr. Tate, or no?
You know what? I think you don't have to, but we still are waiting to hear back from ISB. And I'm thinking ISB is Illinois State Board of Education. They said you won't have to do it, but they still haven't given us like a full confirmation. They said it's likelihood is like 75% so far. So we'll see what they say by the end of December. I guess they're seeing if most schools are allowing visitors or all these types of things. I think that's what they're going to look at, and to see how far along we are with coronavirus or whatever. So I guess they're waiting to see, but I'm sure that we won't do it, but I don't think we will have to, but we don't know for sure. So we'll keep you posted as we hear more.
If we did have to do that, do you know like when we would have to do that? Would that be like in the spring or at the end?
It'll be in the spring. Yes, it will be like so everything you're doing in class. I think if you saw the feedback I gave you for the third lesson plan, it kind of explained exactly what's going to be happening in the next 2 terms. So you're going to be creating 3 more lessons in January, and then you're going to actually implement those lessons in the spring. And this is exactly what you would have been doing with Ed TPA anyway. So it's the exact same assignment that Ed TPA would have had you do. We're just going to grade it in-house, and it won't go out to Ed TPA. So you still are basically doing it, but you're not doing it like you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for us in-house. So you still sort of are doing it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. I didn't know if it was like something else that we had to do. Okay.
No. And because by the time you come back in January, we definitely would know what's going to happen. But I really don't think you will have to do it. No.
Professor, do you know science professors or no?
No, I don't know them. Let me tell you, they're in the undergraduate department, so we don't really know them. Because we graduate over here, but like the science courses, those are all in the undergraduate college. I don't really know those professors. Is this guy giving you trouble?
Not yet, but I'm very worried because he has over 10 modules for our 6 weeks with him for December. So I'm just kind of shitting bricks a little bit.
What's his name, Crystal? I can kind of reach out to him.
Dr. KO for the knockout. KO.
KO. What you can do is send me his email address, and I'll reach out to him and talk to him and let him know that you guys are in a cohort and you have a lot going on. He has to kind of relax his little routine because I heard about him, but I don't know him personally.
You've heard about him?
Yeah, I heard everybody like last year the students had him too, and so we've heard about him. So I'm figuring this is probably the same guy, but he's a stickler and he really wants. He has a lot of things to cover, and he makes sure he covers every last thing. So
we have 10 modules for 6 weeks. He wants us to do 2 to 3 modules a week.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, give me his information. We'll reach out to him. Myself, Dr. Nguyen, and Dr. Kinnaman, we'll all reach out to him and try to see if we can work out something with him.
Okay. Thank
You
you
know,
so
just
much.
send me his information.
Love that.
And did you hear back, Crystal? I got your email and I talked to those professors. Did you hear back from them yet? Because they're trying to relax a few things. They're taking some discussions off the table in
Yeah.
522.
Well, no, I didn't hear from any of them, but on the module thing, Dickie put that we don't have to do the discussion this week. So that was a huge help in itself.
Okay, good.
And then Dickie extended out our stuff to be December 4th that an assignment's due. So it's not all due that 28th. So
Okay, good.
I
Okay, so at
think
least
that
they
helps
loosened
out.
up. Okay, I'm glad because I talked to them as soon as I got your email. I didn't respond to you right away, but I did talk to them and we had a meeting. So okay, good. I'm glad to hear that they took some things off the plate. So
Yeah.
We appreciate you, Professor Tate.
Yes.
trust me, I know.
You're like our favorite professor.
We
You're
do.
the
Yeah.
best.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are really good students. I have to say that's why I don't mind advocating for you all because you work hard. You really do. So I don't mind because I know you have a lot going on. You work hard in your classrooms and then you have to come here and deal with this. So I get it. It's
Yeah.
hard, Chuck. And you have personal lives to deal with too. You have personal things going on. So I totally get it.
Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Professor Tate. Ladies, do you guys
you.
have any more questions for him?
No, thank you though. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'll jump out so you can finish your
Already?
discussion. And then
Don't
I'll-
watch like the first like 10
I
minutes.
know. It's just like let it be.
I know. Then I'm going to fast forward past my part. Okay, so you guys go ahead. All right, have a good one.
You too.
Okay,
Thank you,
bye-bye.
we appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you, guys,
Alrighty.
appreciate it. That's so
the
funny. I
best.
didn't even know that he was on. Someone was
Oh.
like, he's on. And I was like, where?
Okay,
the best.
my
Like,
God.
back to the
love him.
discussion.
All right.
Where
Oh my
were
God.
we?
Science
Science
was
is all
hilarious.
around us because Carmelita, you were saying there's chemistry, there's
Ah,
Chemistry, there's physics, there's biology, there's earth science.
Yeah, and even when you
Oh.
aren't like in an older grade, like teaching science specifically, like a lot of preschoolers and kindergarten classes do like STEM programs.
Right.
And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but a lot of like the kindergartners at my school, their favorite like time of the day is when they do STEM. And they put like all of that stuff and they do science with like extra stuff with it. So like
Yeah.
and like kids are always like so curious and like interested in like different things. And like I feel like science really like captures all of that and like lets them explore more and like
Right.
understand the world.
and I
Right.
feel like with science, there's no right or wrong with it.
Right.
So
Right.
when it comes to children and babies, and it's all around. So if they explore a garden, there's no wrong way to do that. There's no
Right.
right way to do it. It just is. And that's the
Yeah.
thing that I like the most about science is with math, it's a yes, it's a right answer or wrong answer, right? But
Yeah.
with science, it just kind of is organic and around you, the bugs, the plants, the life, yourself, you know.
Right.
I don't know. I think that science really is all around.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like kind of like just, I mean, I feel like you guys gave like great, perfect answers, but just to add on, like you see science, you know, when you go outside, like you see nature, you see trees, you see leaves, and then even just like kids like going outside, like they learn about science by like, oh, you know, the leaves are changing color. You learn about science for like the weather. Is it raining? Is it snowing every day? I don't know, just I mean, even like when you have sensory like tables, like kids can learn about science, like even like if they're just playing with like sand, I don't know, or even like measuring things, like there's so many different ways I feel like that you do
Yeah.
learn about science. I
We
don't like
did
it.
in our room yesterday or the day prior, the day that it started just snowing. The kids and my babies were like, you know, what the heck, what's going on outside? Pretty much. And I go, oh, okay, let's see this. So I put water in the freezer and let it freeze. And then we were talking about it's cold outside, right? And then, you know, they said, yeah. And I'm like, well, we put the water in the cold and look at what happens. It turns cold into ice. So that's what falls from the sky. And they were so blown
Yeah.
by that connection, but it's just one of those things where you can use anything as an example for it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
The second part says, what are 3 ways teachers can encourage their students to, or encourage their students' science exploration?
Support going outside. Grow a garden if you can, and let them explore the bugs in the dirt, and self exploration of anything that they'd like in any kind of nature setting, even having a fish tank in your room. I think that
Oh,
that
that's
would
fun. Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah, we
I
have
feel
pets
like,
in-
yeah, I feel like talking about the weather every day, that's always important. And then maybe just like incorporating like a science lesson. And then I would say the same thing going outside, because I feel like that is science itself.
Yeah, I have pets in both of my classrooms. We have plants in both rooms. We're trying to grow, I can't remember the name, the first part of it, but we're trying to grow bonsai trees right now.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And then right now in both classrooms, I have 2 tanks with hermit crabs in them.
Your
So-
classroom sounds so fun.
Right.
Honestly, between you and Crystal, you guys have like a lot of cool stuff happening.
Mhm.
I have to keep it fun and I have to keep a lot, otherwise it's chaotic.
I get that. Yep.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
lot of behavioral children in my classroom, so if I keep a lot on the table,
Yep.
keep things interesting, then it keeps them going. Second part, how can you instill a sense of wonder in your students?
Making
I like
it
to do this with my
fun.
babies. I go, I'll give them a choice question, and then they look at me like, I don't know. I go, what do you think?
Right.
And then I pause. Like, I mean, practice patience to a T. I pause. And then, but I started exampling it like, what do I want? What do I want? I know. And now some of my kids go, and then they'll point at what they want. They're not telling me, but they're doing, they're imitating, but it's
Right.
one of those like, what do you want? And then they get to choose.
And also asking like open-ended questions, like, what do you think will happen if we mix, if you're doing color mixing with food coloring, or if you're mixing flour with water, like, what do you think is gonna happen if we mix these 2 things together?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I feel like too, like for my kids, because they're a little bit older, but even I think I did this too for like preschool. I would talk about like predictions. So like, oh, like kind of like what you said, like, what do you think is going to happen? And then just making, talking
Right.
about like that educated guess that you would do before. So,
Right.
so yeah, thinking about things, talking about it. We'll do like a worksheet afterwards too, and just talk about like what actually happened,
Right.
what we used, and like all the steps that we took to like get there. And then we even will ask our kids if they liked it or not. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but usually they do. They love science, so science is a fun one.
They're very honest, I will say, because we did an activity one time and we're like, did you guys like that? And one kid was like, no, I hated it. Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things to do, and I've done it in like all of my classes that I've ever had, is I like to Google things. Like kids will ask me questions and I'll like Google the question for them. Cause like if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna look it up. So I
Right.
had a first grader and he was just hanging out with me and he was saying something about like an 18-foot snake or something like that. And I was like, dude, do you know how long 18 feet is? He was like, no, I don't. So we Googled how long it was and like picked up like life-size photos. And then he was like, oh, what about this animal? Like, how big is this one? And then we literally went on this like Google tangent of like Googling all of these different animals. And then we were Googling videos of snakes. And then I would ask him, like, what would you do if you saw an 18-foot snake? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, I would probably scream and pass out.
Yeah.
Oh, it all started because we Googled how long a king cobra can grow, and a king cobra can grow up to 18 feet.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to cry. looking
No,
that
thank
up.
you.
Exactly.
Mhm. Oh man.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off of Carmelita, I like to use the open-ended questions. And I especially like to do them when I do some of our shared writing. And I usually will do that in the beginning of the week. Instead of reading a different book every day, I'll pick a book for the week. And I usually start out with a picture walk. And with the picture walk, I always use, I wonder what's happening on this page. I wonder how this person is feeling. I wonder what's happening over here. And that just opens it up for the kids and they just kind of take off with it. And then I can pull myself out of even having to say, I wonder, because then they start saying, well, I wonder what's happening over there. And then somebody else is like, I know. And then some of the tools that I use, like one of the things I have in my lesson plans this week that covers art, language, and literacy. It just comes with a whole list of different scenarios that I can read over and be able to kind of set up those activities in the classroom. And they just give you ideas like this collage has 2 feathers. How did you decide where to put them? And just giving them the option to be able to think about, how did I figure out where I was going to put those? And I think I'm frozen. Yeah, all day long. And I'm in the middle of recording and I'm the one recording.
Okay.
Oh, is she back?
Well,
Yeah.
That's
did it
so-
save, Tessa?
It's still recording.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
If anything, it'll be me bitching in the background because I lost internet for the 100th time today.
Oh no.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Aw.
Is it starting a new one now though? Because it said recording ended and then it said now recording.
When I look at my regular Zoom thing off from there, it still says it's just in progress.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well.
All right.
Well, we were
Maybe-
finishing up anyway, right?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, we just have
So I
one more
think we answered both questions.
question. I know you were still talking to Tess, I think, when I cut off.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going on about the open-ended questions and how that tool just kind of sets it up for you to look back on and reflect while you're actually doing the hands-on stuff with the kids.
And what are you using to do that?
Some of the teaching cards from TS Gold.
Okay. Okay. The intentional teaching cards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to use them for my large groups more than my small groups. But
Yeah.
every once in a while, if I specifically need to get some documentation or if I'm doing like some individualization, I will use one of those cards to be able to set up a small group.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the second part just says why is a sense of wonder important when teaching science?
I think because you want to give them that sense of exploration and you want them to explore the world around them. And at least for me, for preschool, we do a lot of play-based learning. So we really don't direct them. We kind of just let them have choice. So I think you can apply that as well.
And it helps them build independence.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it helps with their self-confidence. Is this gonna overflow?
Yeah.
Is this gonna sink or float?
Right.
Which one? What do you think? And if they're wrong, okay. What about the next one? Like rubbing it off so that they don't
Feel like
just showing
wrong.
independence.
Right.
And I feel like too, just to make them, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Spark their curiosity.
Oh, I was gonna say that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Like
true.
keep
I was
them
gonna say-
curious.
I
Right.
was literally gonna say that. I was like, it makes them interested too or curious.
And critical thinkers too. It makes them
Yeah,
start to
that's
think,
true.
you
Yeah.
know, and problem solve and everything, you
Yeah,
know.
that's a good, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I was gonna say that too. I feel like it makes them just curious and, you know, want to learn more, and
Mhm.
it makes them interested too. Like, oh,
Right.
what's gonna happen?
Right.
Yeah, I also think it keeps the kids that are like really smart engaged when you keep them like wondering. Like I have a student who literally can tell you everything ever about dinosaurs. He knows all the facts, all the names. He can like list them off the top of his head. And sometimes like with him, when you are like learning something new, he's like, ugh, I already know this. And that's when you got to think on your toes, and you just got to start, like, you have to make it more interesting. And I feel like it makes keeping like the wonder there, like makes lessons more interesting. And then it lets him also then like kind of get into the lessons
Mhm.
too.
Like, you don't know this.
Right.
I've done that.
Nice.
I love saying that to my students.
Yeah. Same.
Good job, ladies.
Finished.
Yay.
Hey.
Hey.